Alright, so now I'm here to give you a TNA review. It starts off, Bully Ray's backstage and he's spray painting something. And then Eric Young's backstage and he said that Magnus gave him the fight of his life and nobody thought he would beat Magnus and he wanted to get the belt and to keep it. So then he goes to MVP's office and he said he's been impressed with what Eric Young's been doing and he likes his style. He appreciates having him as a champion more than Magnus. Um, and that Eric Young wants to defend the championship anytime, anywhere. So he wants to defend it tonight. So MVP goes to get some challengers, and he gets Mr. Anderson and Gunner. Because Mr. Anderson, I guess, beat Samuel Shaw, and Gunner beat James Storm in an I Quit match. So they're deserving of world championship matches. If anything, you would think Gunner would be, I guess, more deserving, but guess not. So they're gonna get shots, and they have a potential to get shots. But then Bobby Roode comes up and thinks he should get a shot since he put Bully Ray through since he won the Taylor's match on at Sacrifice. And it doesn't matter how he won it. A win's still a win. So MVP throws this idea, and he throws the idea of that they're gonna draw cards, and whoever gets the highest card, um, it's like whoever gets the lowest cards face each other, and whoever gets the highest card, faces the winner of the lower cards. It's kind of it wasn't complicated, but the way I was kind of explaining would have been more complicated. They should have just done a fatal four-way match though. So Mr. Anderson, Gunner, and Bobby Roode all picked the cards, and obviously you knew Bobby Roode was gonna get the highest card because he's the heel. So Gunner and Anderson are gonna end up facing each other. I think that's what they kicked off the show with, if I'm not. And we got Taz and Mike Tenay on commentary. Should have mentioned that. Okay, no, we already. Here's my TNA. Here it is. Then Magnus comes out, and he's upset that he's not he's not even considered. He's not even in the World Heavyweight Championship picture after holding it for 4 months. And he wants MVP to come out here and straighten this out. But you see Abyss in the crowd, and he comes up and starts beating the crap out of Magnus. Magnus tries to low blow him to fight him off, but he fails. He ends up getting choke slammed, and he tries to chase him off with a chair, but Magnus escapes. I'm just gonna and they do more with Magnus later. And then Bully Ray wants revenge on Dixie Carter for putting him through a table. He talks about how he has like bruised ribs, injured ribs possibly, but he wants revenge on Dixie Carter. He says that tonight he's putting her through a table, and there's a table out there with a that he bought with her name spray painted on it. Dixie Carter interview, and I guess she's not really worried about it. So then Rockstar Spud tries to protect her, but because she thinks that he's afraid of her, she's afraid of Bully Ray, but he should be afraid of her. And then we get Gunner versus Mr. Anderson versus Gunner in a first number one contenders match. This match was alright, wasn't anything special. James Storm comes out and tries to interfere in the match again, and I was worried. I was like, shit, they're gonna continue this Gunner feud, but they didn't. It seems like he accidentally kicks Anderson in the head, and Gunner hits what kind of looks like an F5, but isn't really an F5 for the win. So he's gonna face Bobby Roode later on tonight. Well, that night. Magnus is backstage, and he runs into. I didn't really know the guy's name. I know because I haven't really watched TNA that long, but I'm gonna look him up right now. He runs into. Graham, which I guess it was his old tag team partner, and he just wants the old Magnus back. I don't really know what this was about, mainly because I didn't watch TNA back when they were probably together. Next thing was so yeah, they just do some stuff with that. Then Ethan Carter the third, EC3 cuts a promo, and he talks about how next week he's going to be facing Kurt Angle in a one-on-one match. The match that was supposed to happen at Lockdown, but he just had to take out his knee. So he wants to show off his amateur background match, how he's undefeated. So he needs a sparring partner. Clearly, he gets Rockstar Spud. They spar a little bit. Eventually, Kurt Angle comes out. Says he's gonna destroy EC3, and that was about it. It was all right, I guess. I want Kurt Angle back in the WWE because I think he would be better off being there. He'd be. It doesn't really feel like he's the same in TNA as he is in WWE. Um, and then the beautiful people are backstage, and they're going to talk about the championship celebration. I'll just talk about it now. They get this letter that says they can't really dress perverted anymore, so they have to go out in evening gowns. Um, they it was from the board of directors too, I think. Um, and it doesn't really so they're gonna defy authority and end up stripping for us, but it doesn't happen. They were the ones that wrote the letter. Says that we couldn't get girls like them if we went to Vegas with a roll of 50s. I think she said Texas. I forget what the state was. And then Gail Kim comes out and says that you don't give the fans what they want. You're disgracing the knockouts division, and I'm gonna say that I built, and I'm gonna save it. So they tries to strip them, but it doesn't work out. Then Brittany and Madison Rain end up stripping them, and that was about it. I thought this was fine. I don't know who's gonna be feuding for the belt. Maybe Madison Rain will get a rematch, and then it will be Gail Kim, Madison Rain. I forget what. So what happened? So let me just jump ahead. So then we get the second number one contenders match between Gunner and Bobby Roode. This match was good, wasn't bad. Bobby Roode wins with the Roode bomb, but it was a decent match they had. Then Dixie Carter and security are backstage, and they're telling her to set the table up, make sure everything's in place, and they just go, "Yes, ma'am." I think the next thing was the contract signing, if I'm not mistaken. You know, we get Willow versus James Storm. Um, well, it was the next thing, but I would just talk about Willow versus James Storm. I don't really think the match really got off on any foot. James Storm tries to throw Howdy into the. I guess he's gonna like take one of the like a broken piece of a beer bottle he smashed and gouge it on Howdy's face, but he hits him with an umbrella. But Storm escapes, and Anderson ends up hitting the mic check on him on the stage, which I knew Mr. Anderson would make an appearance. I'll talk about the Dixie Carter situation. She talks about how she put Bully Ray through a table. She gloats about it. Just pretty much that. Bully Ray comes out and the security on the stage preventing him from getting in the ring. He convinces them to leave. He attacks the security in the ring. And then he also put Dixie Carter through the table, but MVP stops it. He came off as a heel here, says that he will be in trouble if he lets this happen under wrestling win, so he bans both Dixie Carter and Bully Ray from the Impact Zone. And then we get MVP and the Bromans backstage after the Willow Jeff Hardy match. And the Bromans are complaining because they think that they had a disadvantage at the pay per view because they lost. I don't know. I'm not even gonna. So they're gonna be in a regular 6-man tag. I'll cover that. It was Sonata and the Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards versus the Bromans, Jesse Garter, Zima Ion, not DJ Zima, Zima Ion, and Robbie E. They got like no offense in. The Wolves and Sonata squash them, and I think they won. I forget how they won, but they win. They all hit all like the finishes on them, but I forgot who got the pinfall. And then we got next week though it's gonna be the Wolves defending the World Tag Team Championships against the Bromans, Jesse Gardos and Robbie E. and ladder match. Um, it's gonna be something else next week. Kurt Angle versus EC3. So then we get Bully Ray comes up to MVP and wonders why he prevented him from putting Dixie Carter through a table. He's the one that brought him in to this position. MVP said that you can't attack him in the ring, but I have no control outside the ring or outside the TNA. But so it's probably gonna lead to some outside stuff between Bully Ray and Dixie Carter. And then I think we got the main event after that. I think I covered everything. Yeah, so we got Eric Young defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Bobby Roode. Good match. Eric Young hits the power driver, Roode kicks out. Roode hits the Roode bomb, Eric Young kicks out. But Eric Young ends up winning with an elbow. They had a good match. And Eric Young shakes Bobby Roode's hand afterwards. Pretty good stuff. TNA was pretty good this week. I thought they did a lot of wrestling on the show with the title stuff. They should have just made it a fatal four-way though. I thought the Willow Jeff Hardy match I guess was different. They should have made it maybe a little bit longer. But this was okay stuff that they did this week. I thought they tried to give us a good show. So and they think they sort of succeeded. But that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.